All eyes are on Idalia as the storm heads for Florida. It's expected to be a major hurricane, and we're on the ground right now with WGXA's storm chaser, Brett Adair. Brett, this certainly isn't your first storm, but what are you expecting from it?
Well, we're expecting a major hurricane to come into portions of the Big Bend area of Florida. We are in St. Mark's right now, and you can see it's rather quiet out here this afternoon. We were talking to the owner here. We're at the Riverside Cafe here on the docks, and it's very, very quiet. Not many people around, and a hurricane warning is now in effect. So we're expecting this storm to pick up intensity as it continues to move northward into the Gulf of Mexico, and we're going to be watching areas all the way from Apalachicola down to really Tampa Bay for big impacts as this storm makes landfall.
And Brett, as a storm chaser, walk us through your plans for the next couple of days when it comes to Idalia.
So what we've been doing is we've been going around the coastline of the Big Bend. It's not really one of those areas that's easily accessible. There's a lot of trees, a lot of low-lying areas. We've got rivers that flow up. So we're having to watch for those low-lying areas we're just kind of scouting out areas to report, but we're also looking for areas that we can put some remote camera boxes in that may not be so safe when this storm makes landfall, so that at least we can get a visual of what's happening in places like Steinhatchee, Horseshoe Beach, Cedar Key as the storm's ongoing, but it may not be very safe to be there. So we're going to put some of those up, and we're also going to scout out and continue to do that this afternoon. Some of those places to report because we want to report the story and not becoming.
Absolutely. We want you to be safe out there, but based on your past experience with storms, what would you tell people, Brett, in the path of Idalia?
Well, the biggest thing is this area hasn't taken a hit from a major hurricane directly in a long, long time, and it's very storm surge prone. That's the reason you're starting to see those mandatory evacuations fly across the area. So heed the hurricane warnings that are now in place. Listen to your local officials, and if you're in a zone where evacuations are necessary, get out now. Don't wait until later. There have already been some fuel issues with some mixing of diesel and unleaded fuels in the area, so the supply here in many areas down near Tampa especially is lower than normal. So make those plans as far in advance as you can, and just be ready to let that storm come on up, pass by. It should be out of here relatively quickly. As we go into Thursday, we should be clearing out. So just get out of the way if you can, and you're in one of these areas that's prone to problems.
Our storm chaser, Brett Adair, on the ground in the Florida Panhandle in St. Mark's, ready to cover the storm for WGXA News. Stay safe out there, Brett.